Welcome back to Lost Dimension. Last time, why? So, that happened. That happened. And there's no way I was going to avoid tragedy, because it was either him or Nagi, and Nagi is also amazing. In fact, those two are probably two of my favorite characters to use in battle, so of course it'd be either one of them, and I really don't want to lose either of them, but I'm gonna have to. We must press on. Next we have the very fittingly titled Cage of Despair. And I just realized this is going to be a boss mission. Now, yeah. If boss missions from earlier were any indication, the first boss mission was easy. The second one was brutal. So this one, I'm quite worried. So we have multiple stationary weapons and 2 mobile Tellum. We have to beat the 2 Tellum. And as for the enemies, now both the Tellum are like right next to us from the start, and that makes me very, very suspicious. There has to be more to that than just this. We've got a couple of Gravis Elves guarding them. At least all the enemies aren't clustered together. You know what? Just looking at that chest on the map, I just realized that I missed a chest in the last chapter. I knew I was missing something. Okay. Admittedly, though, I didn't actually realize that we'd be able to break down all the barriers, so yeah, I thought we would have to go past that chest, but we didn't, so might have to go back for that later on. Anyway, though, we do have a chest here, and these A-core, W-core, E-core, and I-core, which almost sounds like a pun. So I'm not sure what these do exactly. These almost remind me of Portal and stuff, but I'm gonna hazard a guess that all of these are generating a kind of a force field around the Tellums, and we have to defeat them all before we can even touch them. That's my guess. Either that or these are all like stationary artillery things or whatever. But considering that some of these are very far off, and the fact that the Tellums are really close to us from the start, I'm a bit suspicious. I think there must be some kind of force field involved. Anyway, though, who to bring? Well, I'm not making the same mistake I did last time. We are bringing Yoko to the boss fight for her debuffing abilities. They are gonna really come in handy. You know what, now I just realized, I almost think that Marco may have actually got crit by that enemy back in Mana's side quest on purpose. Anyway, I know I can freely use Nagi now, and using her might be quite useful here, though I'm not entirely sure if those black areas are just completely impassable or not, or like pits. I'm not sure, I'll have to check. So yeah, that's the thing about doing this blind. Zenji, again, here's the thing. I want him to get more battle performance, because at the moment the forecast is, Marco is second on this list. That actually, might help me. I was worried that I'd have to do a lot more work to actually shift suspicion onto him. Anyway. Yeah, I'm wondering who to bring here. Should we go for more mobility or more survivability? That is the issue. I also realized, yes, I know that you can switch Sho's position, but often I just like him in the first position. I usually don't feel much need to put him anywhere else. 2 more, and let's see. See, I worry that if I bring Zenji, he might just end up dying, and that would actually set back his performance even more. But if I don't bring him, then he won't get anything, and everyone else will get lots, and he'll be behind anyway. So, might as well bring him anyway. And as for the last shot, Toya has that kind of semi-debuff ability that might be useful in the bosses, so I might want to go for him here. Kind of a shame I'll be leaving Mana out, but this setup looks good. Of course, I'm leaving out Marco just because I don't want him to get any more performance, because that might result in Yeah, bad things happening. So, I hope this boss fight isn't as ridiculous as the last one, but it might be. Cage of Despair. No conversation,
Let's do
huh?
this.
And boss theme, so yeah, obviously, I kinda had a feeling. Huh. Wave? Oh, they are weapons. That's got a heck of a lot of health, though. Tell him.
Let's get this show on the road.
Oh, but I can simply hover over here. What's this? Enchant Core. And this one is Impulse Core. I wonder if the Enchant Core is gonna buff the enemies, which I definitely don't want. Let's shoot the Enchant Core.
Let's go.
Way too long to actually kill. And I don't want to completely charge in here. I mean, there's always the possibility that we actually retreat a bit and form a perimeter back there. And just try, because I don't want to run into all of these enemies at once. And for the moment, I don't know what these cores do. So for now, I may actually go ahead and do that.
I'll tear him apart.
Okay, Zenji can go quite far. Not quite far enough to attack the Impulse Core, though.
Let's go.
I mean, not the... That is the Impulse Core, right?
And away we go.
And now those two are linked. I can go and cast my Inspiration buff and give both of them the benefits. I need to protect Yoko, though, because I need her to buff those bosses.
You're pissing me off. Let's go.
You shouldn't be pissed off that you're getting buffed there. That's actually quite a good thing for you. Speaking of buffs... Okay, so... yeah. Slight problem. I feel bad for having to do this, but this is kind of a re-record, and normally I wouldn't do that because this is a blind run, but my original attempt of the next mission, which was Cage of Despair, basically, I got audio desync so bad the video footage was literally unwatchable. I mean, the audio was one turn behind. That was how bad it was. There was just no way that you could watch it, and even the video footage was a bit glitchy, so, Thing is, though, I kind of wanted to repeat this mission anyway, because it sort of, well, and here's the thing, I feel bad about this, but I did really, really badly at this mission before, but it wasn't like I failed or anything, but basically I went out of my way to get a document and didn't end the battle until I did, and because of that, I had the opportunity to end this in about 3 turns. I deliberately prolonged the battle, and it resulted in me losing everyone except Sho. Yeah, that was a bit embarrassing looking, and here's why I feel bad about re-recording this, because you see, normally, if this is a blind run, I wouldn't want to do that. I want to show all my failures. I seem like I'm kind of just deceiving you if I'm not showing a semi-failed attempt, but the problem is, it's the desync, really. Anyway, I am recording this mission again, just to show this to you. Unfortunately, that means that this isn't blind, really. It also means that I've already got my levels up from the last, time I did this mission, but let's see if I can kind of try and recreate the same team that I used. I think I put Yoko somewhere there. Toya went around there, as did Zenji. And Agito and Nagi went over here. And that turned out to be a very good decision because Agito and Nagi are very, 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 very useful here. Also, I didn't actually get that chest the last time. This kind of ended badly when I went for that chest. Agito and Nagi went for it and they kind of got slaughtered because there are some... You can get caught up in some pretty nasty assists in this mission if you're not careful. There are a lot of those high movement Ilex enemies and yeah.
Let's do this.
So yes, this is a boss mission, but we have these weird core things around here. Now, so we have the impulse, we have the impulse core, the enchant core, the wave core, and the alert core. Now, I correctly guessed that the alert core does summon enemies like an alarm. We also have Ilex ducks. These things are actually very, very, very difficult, like much more annoying than I gave them credit for. They have a huge movement range, and you can get into some pretty dangerous counter assist combos if you let them. Our main targets here are two Tellum, which both have some pretty insanely high stats, but they are kind of weak to melee attacks, didn't notice that before, and special. Now, there are two of them, and anyway, I'll talk more about them later. We also have the Enchant Core. All of these cores have really, really high defense, so firstly, I'm actually going to go and fly over here and start going for the Enchant Core. Now, like I said, this thing has enormous... Oh, yeah, Satellite. Yeah, that's a new move that she didn't have before, so maybe I shouldn't use that? I don't know. But anyway, these things have huge defense, so attacking them normally is kind of... doesn't really work too well. Yeah, these are all physical. So I'll just go for, yeah, regular sweep shot on this thing. Does not do very much damage, though. See, not all that much. Because of that, I actually realized that, Agito's actually better off using his, fixed damage attack. It actually does more than even 2 swipes of his regular knife. So yeah, fixed damage attack, like I guessed, is really useful in situations, and of course we're missing. That tends to happen in this mission. So yeah, like I've been saying, fixed damage attacks tend to be kind of useful, when dealing with enemies with very, very high defense. Now, the plan here is to lure the 2 Tellums over this way, and then to get one of them around here, and then to duck into the side corridor to force them to expose their back. Combat alert's not exactly, Okay, yeah, and Sho now has side effects. Because he's equipping the side effects material, he can use punishment, which I've learned from getting the ability to access that. Okay, right, so
Then let's begin. Tear him apart.
I think Zenji should link with Toya here, just to give us, the linking with,
More. Even more.
linking with Yoko could give us 2 buff users, but, I actually want to link with Toya just because we both get the benefits of, basically, it gives us 2 people who can use, very powerful, semi-powerful psychic attacks, which these things are kind of weak to. Keeping her here for her boss debuffs, but I guess we could use, awareness now. Does feel bad to not be doing this blind, but again...
Power's mine now. Thanks.
And the cool thing is that Toya, despite being over there, gets the benefit of the buff because he's linked. I didn't actually realize that. So anyway, yeah, this thing likes to also, yeah, its core followers can fail, so keep that in mind. But it does call these very high movement Ilex ducks, and they are incredibly annoying. They just love to get in some big assist combos on you. Plus, we have the Gravis Lex, which are pretty brutal. These things don't have very much movement, and especially seeing as Toya has an attack that can lower the enemy's movement. Movement here is not what I'm worried about. They do have the ability to utilize blah 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 attack mode blah, which, well, increases their attack power. And that's why I have Yoko for the debuffs, because debuffing their attack is incredibly vital here. Otherwise, they do huge damage to you, and I mean really, really huge damage. Also, these things' counter-attacks are really brutal, so you might want to try and avoid counters wherever possible. Now, here's the weird thing. This blue core, I don't know what it's called, the impulse core, it does this big sort of, square thing up forwards. I'm thinking that's some kind of an area attack. I'm not sure. I've actually never seen the impulse core do anything, but, I might just want to be better safe than sorry. Can I inflict status ailments on these things?
The vision unfolds. Take this.
Commencing assault.
I doubt that inflicted any ailments. I'm not sure if these things are outright immune to status ailments or not, but they might be. Okay, he's close enough for an assist. This doesn't do very much damage, but, well, that's a criticals.
And away we go.
But yeah, as you can see there, his regular knife combo does much less than Transplant does. And at least Transplant does get assists. We do want to take that thing out because you might see it or you might not. That thing is capable of doing a very, very wide-ranging magical attack against everyone in the party. So for the moment, I'm just going to use my... or I could go for a buff. Maybe I'll save the buffs until we're closer to the enemy. Nice critical.
Then let's begin.
Of course, Toya has to get really close to even be able to participate in assists. I'm not going to be wasting my my GP against this thing or sanity because it's not really like taking it out is that big of a priority. A big assist on it should do more than enough, especially with Sho's increased critical rate and assists, and also I think Yoko should have increased critical rate and assists, but she's not really getting that. Now, an anecdote that I said in my original recording of this is that these sort of big round node type things on the wall, they remind me of a thing that I used to do when I was a lot younger. I don't know if it, I mean, I think they call it laser skirmish, but I'm not sure if you call it the same thing in other countries. But basically it's like a live thing where you go in, where you get this sort of like light sensitive sort of body armor and these light guns, and you go into a maze and you sort of kind of play like a real-life first-person shooter in a way. I don't think I was particularly good at it, but it was kind of fun at parties sometimes. Anyway, I did go to it at one point for a party that someone had, and I remember it clearly because every team had a base. Also, these things use cloaking to increase their dexterity and agility, so make them harder to hit. Again, that's why buffs are useful here. This thing seems to love going into defense mode. I'm not entirely sure what that does, and yeah, Accelerator Blast. This is why I want to take out this core early, because it can use an attack that hits everyone. It's got pretty bad accuracy, but just the fact that it can attack everyone on the field all at once just makes it a high priority to take out.
Let's go.
Anyway, this thing reminds me a lot of every team had their own base, which was kind of like a big thing like this on the wall that you had to shoot the base to kind of get points for your team. There was also a light zone and dark zone, and every team had both a light zone base and a dark zone base. I was always too scared to go into the dark zone, so I never actually went in there, but I actually took out a light zone base once, mostly because just no one was defending it because everyone was in the dark zone. But anyway, that was kind of fun when I was younger. Just a memory that I had that these things reminded me of. You know, I thought that would miss for a second there. That's 2 cores down. But definitely couldn't have come at a better time. These things are on us, and the other one is, okay, a little bit behind. Your best bet here is to split these things up. Okay, and Yoko actually has a few attacks that she didn't have before. She has Psychic Assault, which means she finally has an actual damaging psychic attack, and Dementia, which can inflict confusion. I've never actually seen how confusion works in this game, so that actually might be interesting. But basically, okay, lower strength, psi, and vitality. Sadly, this won't lower its agility and dexterity, but this will at least debuff its attack power. I also noticed that had a hit rate, so my guess is debuffs can actually miss in this game. Oh great, my teammates are kind of blocking me off, aren't they? Well, I could go for his, oh, and I have Gatling Wave. That's a new move. Kind of like a wide-ranging rectangle attack. I think, okay, Coil Shot is a gun attack. Okay, yeah, Circuit Bind I find really useful in these things, lowering their agility and movement. So I'm going to go ahead and use Circuit Bind, which I think will get an assist from Yoko. In fact, the main reason I actually brought Toy out of this mission was because of Circuit Bind. Also, I could actually go with a... Oh, right, yes. By the way, Zenji's learned Resonance, which means he can link with everyone on the field at the same time. Only lasts one turn, though, and costs, vast majority of his GP. Also Pain Sink, which, guess that's kind of... it's not quite Final Gambit from Pokemon. Oh, yes, and Full Helix for a full buff to everyone, which could be very, very useful as well. So, kind of glad Zenji isn't the trader, because he's learned some very powerful skills, in addition to the skills that he's learned off of anyone who he links with, such as Thunderbolt! Yeah, definitely a good idea to use psychic attacks against these guys. Now, bunching up when you're fighting these things is kind of a bad idea, though, and you'll see why possibly quite soon. Okay, now, okay, you don't get assists off of... Wow, that critical did a lot of damage to Zenji, though. You don't get assists off of rush shots, which is very good, because if that thing did get an assist, then the big neck would also assist as well, and then... Trust me, you do not want these things getting assists on you. Their assists hurt. Also, watch this. This thing's circuit binded, but... So it has this cannon attack. Does 2 shots, and they do quite a lot of damage, and hit in an area, so can't be countered. These things are actually pretty brutal. Oh wow, a lot of enemies getting close to us. I'm actually kind of worried here, especially about that Ilex, because there's the very distinct possibility it could get a massive assist chain on us. Almost feel like it'd be best for Zenji to use his Mega Everyone buff now. Sanity's already at half though. Thunderbolt does cost quite a bit of sanity. How much does linking cost? 10%. Okay, Full Helix is... Alright, that's why his sanity's low though. He got damaged quite a bit. Full Helix costs a lot of sanity. There's a possibility that he could go berserk if the enemies hit him, but... Okay, that is awesome. First time I've ever used that attack. Looks pretty amazing. Now, bunching up here is kind of a bad idea, but I sort of want to take out one of these enemies in one turn. Low chance to instantly kill target. I get the feeling that doesn't work on bosses, but I might as well try. Yeah, might as well try. Wow, that does a lot of damage. I think this thing's actually going to go down. Thank you, Zenji, for not missing. Because if you did, I would have been very, very annoyed at you. Okay, now that you have your vitality buffed, I might... See, the problem is, last time I sent these guys there, all 3 of those enemies went around and attacked them, and they all kind of died. So, not be a good idea. But, it might be a good idea to... She's the one with the agility buff, right? Yep.
This might be kind of tricky.
Interesting. Yeah, his sanity and GP are kind of low. This was kind of the only mission so far where I actually had issues with my GP. The weird thing is, before, I've always thought in this game that you're always at much more risk of losing sanity than losing GP. I mean, in terms of running out of all of it. But at this point, I'm actually kind of running out of teleport everyone to the wave core, but that's probably not a good idea. Move Vial. Okay, Move Vial would actually be kind of useful maybe someday, but not now.
For everyone's sake.
Okay, do I have a Sanity Capsule? Might be a good idea, because if he goes berserk when we're all close to him... Or we could all just outright move here. And hold on, there's a very good... Yeah, there's a very good chance someone's going to go down. Or we could all run and hope that Zenji goes berserk. But that would mean that none of us really get a chance to do anything for the rest of this turn. Plus, Zenji's kind of low on health. How much range does your healing have? Wow. Yeah, you have to get pretty close to Zenji in order to heal him. Yeah, I don't want Zenji going berserk while Yoko's nearby, because get the feeling that the AI is going to be really spiteful and going to, yeah, want to target them. Plus, I kind of want to demotivation that other boss, just because it has quite a lot of buffs on it. Or I could go for confusion, but not sure if the chances will be all that good. Should I take a gamble here? Okay, let's take a gamble. Okay, it's confused. I'm not sure what that means. Uncontrollable and will attack friends or foes indiscriminately. Okay, that's exactly what I thought it would do. Alright then. I kind of want to take this thing down quickly then. Oh, you got plenty of GP left. I can... Though I do sort of want to circuit bind you. Though actually stunning you, I mean binding you with Thunderbolt might work, but that requires quite a bit of... I used circuit bind on the wrong thing. Well, that was stupid. Then again, nice double crit there. Then again, I do want that thing gone. And it's the enemy phase already. I kind of lost track of who I was moving. What are you doing? Aha! Thank you, Confusion! Thank you so much! Yeah, that is awesome. Now, I'm wondering, if you shoot us... Okay, you're going into sniper mode. I'm wondering if confused enemies still activate assists if other enemies fire with them, or if they're not considered part of the enemy team at all. I'm not sure. Oh, these things are annoying. Really, really annoying. Huge movement, and they just love stacking assists on you if they get close. However, it looks like the big guy just moved in a way that he's kind of blocked everyone. Careful. Probably should have healed there. Wait a second. What did Yoko even do that turn? Oh right, she confused him, yeah. I mean, that was useful, but I probably should have healed Zenji. Thing is, revive is gonna cost, yeah, all of Yoko's sanity.
Well, let's do this.
Okay, for now, though... Can I reach that check? Oh boy.
This might be kind of tricky.
You said it, because I'm... that chest does not look safe. That chest does not look safe. And sadly, George was erased before I learned his untrapped chest skill. So, you know what? I actually think it might be a good idea not to go for that now. Of course, for all I know, that could actually be a, let's see. Actually... Oh no, it only looks at nearby allies. Yeah, that's the thing with group shift. It's actually a bit hard to use because you need to move to a spot where there are lots of allies and then be near an enemy as well. Okay, nice double back attack. Let's see if we can get the assist kill here. I actually think it's going to be left with very low HP. Yes, it is, and thus I still get shot. Okay.
Commencing assault.
Okay, let's see what happens if we use a... Wait, does she have a, drops an object on target. Okay, that's not an area attack. I was wondering if she had an area, This looks like a good option, though. I was wondering if she had some kind of an area attack, can't be countered. I think she hasn't quite learned that yet. I would kind of like to demotivate this boss, though. Demotivational poster, go! I only get one assist, though. Okay, yeah, now, and here's the really bad thing about this boss. Its cannon counter, yeah, that's a counter. That sounded a bit weird. No, what I meant is its cannon attack is can be a counter as well, so... That's kind of brutal. I'm wondering if I do Thunderbolt in this thing, if it will actually, You know what? I'll go for Circuit Bind because I need to lower its agility. Circuit Bind is actually very useful. I am really liking that skill. But yes, cannon as a counter.
Let's go.
The counter version is not an area attack though, thankfully. Okay, you're the only person on the team left to move. Kind of annoyed that Zenji went down, but can I finish you off? Get 3 assists. Let's go for a critical shot. And I definitely can finish you off. So, I'm going to ignore that chest, because chances are activating that chest was a bad idea. Again, being a blind run, I'm not entirely sure if that even was a trap chest or not. But that's done. I wonder what rank we got. Oh, Zenji got 0. Only a B? Really? Wow, that was... Okay, that was still 5 turns, though. I think you can do that faster. Probably if you ignore the cores and just focus on the bosses. Yeah, I think that's why I got a low ranking there. I still have no idea what the Impulse Core actually does, so if anyone knows, they could post in the comments, because I'm not really sure. Yeah, he kind of wiped all his points with that, with going down there, but Yoko did very well, though. Of course, once again, I was about to say that Sho stole the show there, but that would sound like a horrible pun, and I don't want to do that. Why, Marco? Why? I want to use you so much. Why? Well, Sho at least got an extra... Also, this is pointless, because I already know who the traitor is. And this is going to only give 1 voice, because... Wait, 2. Oh yeah, because Zenji was one of them. Alright, yeah. Now, let's see if there's anyone else who asks me who the traitor is. As long as nobody says it's Zenji, and as long as Marco doesn't come up. Oh, hi. Okay, good. We get to choose specifically. I'm so sorry, Marco, but I know it's you. I think I'll be getting 1 more. Oh, hi, Toya. Good, you're trustworthy. Yeah, it seems like everyone's taking my advice to heart. Yep, I think so too. Can't hurt for us to use caution. Well, I think Marco's fate is pretty much sealed at this point. As sad as it is to admit. Most likely due to my early detection, but he was so close to max bond! Anyway, Sho has 1 gift point though, so what was I going for again? Oh right, he has pre-recognition. Oh, I mean premonition. Is that a skill or is that a passive? I'm not sure. So that looks like a passive as well. Also have weather forecast, which requires electro spark from Toya. So what else was I going for here? That could be useful. And that could be a useful debuff as well. Decreasing the target's movement is good, but I do like the idea of lethal pass, so I'm getting that, probably. Although, yeah, Daydream costs a lot to get to, but this thing could be insanely powerful. So, in the desynced attempt, I basically went really out of my way to get a certain file, which is all the way up one of the corridors in that map. You have to really go out of your way for it. I think from now on I'll go for the files off camera. But what I got was, I believe... I think it was Materia's will. So they're constructing the TOF, and just the other day, a door lock appeared, and there was no record of that door lock's installation. But it's the same manner of security system then installed throughout the rest of the facility, but with no apparent power source. And those with proper clearance can pass through it. So, apparently, the Materia has a will of its own, and maybe the tower can grow its own security systems? Interesting. Anyway, though, I'm really sorry about that part. I really hope this one doesn't desync too. Well, if it does, you're obviously not going to be listening to this recording. But, anyway, I will see you all next time, where we're going to be taking on the last mission of this floor. Not erasing Marco. At least, hopefully not. Oh, Marco, why? See you then.